Smithy, the FA Cup dream is over. Are you disappointed?
Yeah, of course. We came into this tie thinking that we had a chance after the calamity of what happened last week with the weather. I think it was a fair result overall. Over the two games, the Palace just showed, they're clinical in front of goal. Every time we made a mistake, they just pounced on it and actually punished us. That's the difference. They're 2 leagues higher than us. Even though they're struggling in the league, it just shows how strong that league actually is. And some of our girls want to play at that level, and they got to look at this today and see how clinical and how strong and how physical Palace were. But yeah, it's gutting that it's over, obviously, because we would love to go and host Brighton. That would have been amazing, especially being in Sussex last year. But it's not to be. I'm proud of the girls. We threw a new formation on them this week to try and combat some of the stuff that Palace were going to do, and I think we executed it really well. I know the scoreline doesn't really do that justice, I don't think. We just made a couple of mistakes, but all in all, I was really pleased with them.
You talked there about the mistakes. Do you feel that you set the team up well enough that those mistakes shouldn't have happened?
Yeah, they're individual errors, and we just it's going to happen. Don't forget we're tier 4, which is I look at that as a very good level, and the football we play normally is of a good standard. But if you come against any team in tier 1, 2, 3, or even 4, or even tier 5, like we found with Moneyfields in our cup game, if you give them a slight chance, they will punish you, and that's what's happened today. So I think we set the team up well. I think that Palace couldn't play their normal game, but they deserve to win, and fair play to them. Good luck to them in the next round.
With those mistakes, there seem to be a common denominator. Does that worry you going forwards?
Not really. I think we'll just obviously work on stuff in training, but I don't know. I don't really want to talk about mistakes. We're in the 4th round of the FA Cup. We've won however many games to get here against teams that were unbeaten or teams that are in the leagues above us. So, let's talk about the positives. And the positives are that, we've got a great squad. We've been playing some lovely football this season. We actually came here and stood toe to toe with Palace, and we're talking about mistakes in a game. So that is a positive, because we didn't get opened up by Palace, which is, really positive for us. We just got to work on these, the errors and what led to them. So we'll look at it, we'll analyse the game as our staff, and then we'll move on to next week. We've got a massive month coming up. So yeah, let's just move on. But I want to talk about the positives. We're in this round, the 4th round. We've been playing some good football. We are 2nd in our league, and they're the positives, and that's what we should be looking at, not the mistakes today.
Early in the game, you won an early corner, and that very nearly went in. Could have been an own goal. That could have been a different tell to the whole story today.
Yeah, it was nice. I think we've had some shots today, we've had some corners, and I think last week we didn't have any of them. The playing out from the back wasn't as good as I'd like it this week. But our attacking play, Erin worked really hard up front. It's difficult for her up there on her own against the back 4 that are that good. And a goalkeeper, obviously, but we gave them problems today, and I think that's positive again compared to last week. So it shows how far we've come in even just a week. And like I said, we threw a new formation on them. They had an hour to plan it in training or work on it, and then we went into an 11v11 at training. So you've had 2 hours, not even that, to work on a brand new formation and come up against a championship team. So yeah, it's promising. It's really good. Just obviously, if that corner goes in, it would have changed the game. But listen, we conceded a goal with 10 minutes for half time. Just that was the killer, I think. And then come out second half and conceding like we did, it just brings everybody down. But actually, it would have changed the game if we'd have scored that first goal from that corner.
I think someone that we do have to mention that, despite the scoreline, she kept us in the game at times, especially that first half. She made some fantastic saves, and that is Rose. She's a young goalie, and she had potentially a tough time out there. She was getting peppered, and she's coming up against a team that have got fans that are going to be shouting stuff behind her goal as well.
Yeah, we know Palace do it. They've done it for years. They put fans behind the goal and they shout abuse at the goalkeeper. I'll say abuse, but banter, I guess. But it is touch and go. But Rose dealt with that well last week. She dealt well with it this week. And that's part of, you want to play football at a good level. You're going to have fans behind the goal shouting at you, and that's going to happen. And it's nice to see because it actually tests her mentality. And yeah, Rose did well. She made some great saves first half. The point blank header off of the header they made off of a corner. Rose has saved it with about, I don't know, milliseconds to actually react to it. So that was a great save. But yeah, I think we've dealt with their front line very well. Amy Taylor, I love Amy Taylor. I think she's a great player. She's come over from Lewis. She's a great forward, a good centre back as well. And Grace has been marking her today, and Grace has done really well on her. And then Kelly and Lucy next to her, all of them have done really well. Like we said, we nullified their main threats, which they showed last week. But I think defensively we actually worked really well. The formation seemed to work, the tactics worked. It was just you give them a little bit of hope, and then they'll score. The goals that they scored were clinical. I mean, the second, the girls come off the left wing and just hit the volley, and it's flying in the far top corner. But yeah, they're the ones that we can't give them those chances. And the last goal, it's come over, and I think Rose has gone to claim it, and there's been a bit of confusion, and it's gone in, and the girls tapped it in the open goal, and that's frustrating. But you know what? I think everyone's played really well defensively. Like, they're all sitting on the floor gutted. They're exhausted. That didn't happen last week. We were 3-0 down with 70 minutes on the clock, and there wasn't people sitting on the floor exhausted. And I think this week it shows actually they've gone up there and they've worked hard and they've tried hard and they've given everything for the club and everything for each other. And that didn't happen last week, so that's really positive again as well.
You'd say there about the emotion on the players, and we saw it coming off. There was frustrations, there was, heartache. How do you pick those players up now? How do you rebuild them to go back into the league against the likes of Exeter, Southampton, that are all coming up in the next few weeks?
Yeah, we've got Exeter, Southampton and Cheltenham in the next 3 games, and Swindon. What a month. That is a massive month for the league now. And, we've got to pick them up. And that's my job as a manager and staff around me, is to pick them all up. But you know what? They don't need picking up. They just got to the 4th round of the FA Cup. They've played against a very good, strong team. And they've shown, actually, that we can play against this sort of level of team, 4-0. There's teams in this league that have lost more than 4-0 in a game. So it's a tough place to come. We know that. Palace were very good. They're very strong. The girls are exhausted, which is what we asked them. Put everything in and just try harder than we did last week, and actually try and prove a point. I think we definitely did that. So they've got to pick each other up. Obviously, I'll pick them up at training, but they're great at bouncing back. We've lost other games, games that probably today I think we deserve to lose. I think we worked hard, but deserved like I said, Palace deserved the win. But there's been games this season that we've lost and didn't deserve to lose. They're the ones that really struggle to pick people up. This one, I think they just got to be proud of themselves and look and say, actually, yeah, do you know what, we've broken, like I said, I keep saying this recent club record of getting to this round of the FA Cup, the money it's brought into the club, which has actually given us other options within the club to be able to buy stuff for the players and look after the staff and players better. All of that stuff that they've brought in, they should be proud of that. So, yeah, they shouldn't have to pick themselves up. They should be really proud and look at what they've done. And they've all come off this pitch absolutely exhausted.